What's up? It's Luke. Metaplanet has been on fire, and I want to dive into their 555 plan right after this. Gemini's brand new Bitcoin credit card lets you earn up to 4% back in Bitcoin on every single purchase, whether it's coffee, groceries, or public transit. Plus, every $50 you spend gives you an entry to win a custom Bitcoin-themed Cybertruck. Sign up using my link or scan the QR code on the screen to grab $50 in Bitcoin as a welcome bonus. Metaplanet is trading back above $12, and they are up hundreds of percent within the last few weeks. It has definitely caught the eye of many people on X wanting to jump in and out and trade this thing. But before we get into that, Strategy just announced their buy for over 1,000 Bitcoin this morning using, for the second week in a row, 0 MSTR ATM on the common stock. Instead, they funded this with $66.4 million of their Strike ATM and $45.8 million of their Strife ATM. These products are picking up volume, and hopefully next week we can see more volume for those two. But also, more importantly, the Stride IPO will close, and we will see that $1 billion in next week's purchase as well. If you can remember, they upped their offering from $250 million to $1 billion, and that closes soon, so we will see that buy come in next week. Now back to Metaplanet. Metaplanet is a bit weird. It trades across 3 different markets with 3 different tickers. MTPLF is the ticker for the US market, and that is actually OTC. There is DN3, which trades in Germany, and then there's 3350, which trades in Japan. And this website, I'll actually link down below, just shows you where it's trading and when those markets are open across the 3 different exchanges. And yeah, as you can see on the right, Japan actually has a lunch break, so the market's closed for an hour. I didn't know that until I looked at this. Very interesting. I'll link this below. So you can check the price of Metaplanet when you are sleeping. But the more important thing is their accelerated 2025 to 2027 Bitcoin plan. They are targeting 1% of the total Bitcoin supply, 210,000 total Bitcoin. This is huge for a company that right now only has 8,888. So they are accelerating at a great rate. Dylan Leclerc saying that they are issuing 555 million shares of moving strike warrants. This is essentially the Japanese market's version of the ATM. And this is expected to bring in $5.4 billion to buy additional Bitcoin. This is the largest stock acquisition rights issuance in Japanese capital markets history. Insane. So let's break this down. Here is from the slides that they published. This is their Bitcoin trajectory. They obviously want to join the 1% club and own 210,000 total Bitcoin. That's 100th of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist. And by 2026, they want to stack to 100,000 total Bitcoin. And they want to use their 555 plan to, like I said, issue those shares using the moving strikes warrants. Now, here is a breakdown of their authorized shares. There is 1.61 billion total authorized shares. They've used 759 million. Currently, this is their fully diluted shares that they have outstanding. Their 555 plan would nearly bring them to their cap, but they would still have around 300 million remaining authorized shares. This is a chart showing their expected holdings by each year. So they think by 2025, they will have over 30,000, 2026, over 100,000. And then by the end of 2027, they will have the 1%. So this is helpful to see. But you might be wondering, well, Strategy did the same thing and they eroded their MNAV down to very low levels. But it seems like Metaplanet is taking this into consideration from what has happened with Strategy, and they are honestly defending it and putting out more info so investors can know what their goals are. So right now they are trading at an MNAV of 6, but they are estimating that their MNAV using the 555 plan will erode by 0.75% per month. And here are the different scenarios that they can project right now. So if they trade at a 6 right now, they believe that by 2026, they will have eroded down to a 5 MNAV. And there's other paths that they might follow, but their goal is to stay above 3 MNAV. And what would this mean for their holdings? Does this allow them to actually stack to their goals? they have laid out different scenarios based on what it is trading at. So if we start at an MNAV of 6 and we keep that, and maybe we erode down to a 5, they will be able to stack between 72,000 and 102,000. This is near their goal. So that is definitely what they're going to aim to do. So they're going to try to keep this MNAV up a little bit more cautiously than Saylor has been doing. So we'll have to see what happens, but this is definitely a ambitious plan. And also, they recently just announced that they are establishing US headquarters in Miami. Take a look.
Hey everybody, I'm Mayor Francis Suarez and I have a big announcement today. Very excited to say that Metaplanet is moving its US headquarters to Miami. It means immediately $250 million invested in its Bitcoin treasury strategy.
I'm super excited to be here today. We're pioneering the Bitcoin treasury strategy in Japan. And we have so many new shareholders in the US that we're very, very pleased now to have selected Miami to be our home base.
I grew up down here in South Florida and I couldn't be happier to see Metaplanet having its home base here in Miami.
Thanks for believing in our ecosystem. We're a city that has the lowest unemployment in America, highest wage growth in America. We're growing in tech jobs. We have the lowest homeless rate in the last 11 years. So many positive things happening, but this is another incredible thing. We're going to have a global company locating its US headquarters here in 305.
If they were to eventually get access into US capital markets, that is like finding and hitting the jackpot. They can do what Strategy is doing and offer preferred or different products that Japanese markets might not work with. So we'll have to follow this and see what they end up doing, but the US markets for them would be huge. And I just want to end with this. If Metaplanet hits their goal of 100,000 Bitcoin by year end, here's what the share prices would look like at different MNAVs. So currently, like I said, they trade at a 6. So we'll only look down from that because they're going to erode a little bit. But we'll just say at 200K Bitcoin, they are going to trade between $56 and $112. I would definitely still hold Strategy. This is not financial advice, but I think Metaplanet might be a good add in small percentages. So if you want to stay up to date with news about Bitcoin and Bitcoin treasury companies, I just ask that you subscribe.